Sometimes life feels like it's a Truman Show. But where did that term come from anyway? It came from a movie called The Truman Show, and today I'd like to review it. You in?
Are you talking to me? Of course.
Hello and welcome to another review by TP Trailers 2. I'm here again with my, movie partner, Miss Moose. And, well, as I said, we're going to review The Truman Show. Because it takes a while to review it if you don't have time, I think we should quickly say if we liked it or not. I really enjoyed it. And you?
Most certainly.
Well, there you go. Now for the long review. I'm going to give a lot of spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, pause the video right now and watch the film if you didn't already. So, well, we definitely enjoyed it. And because we enjoyed it, I think we should say the negatives first, because I only say the negatives last when the film is bad, right? So, you want to go first with your negatives?
Seriously, this film, the only negative I could think of was that it ended. I could have watched this film forever and ever, just like the Truman Show in the film where everyone was addicted and couldn't turn off their screen.
So, no other negatives?
Let me think. I can't think of any more negatives. It really was like going on a fun ride.
Well, in that case, I'll go quickly with my negatives. First off, it just wasn't that grand in scope and scale. Not epic, no very cool visual effects, no amazing music. But that wasn't that bad.
They didn't need that. It was bigger than that. Those things are just distractions when you don't have a good storyline.
Besides that, I guess the only other negative I could think of is that I really think after the directors see Truman slowly figuring out it was a show, they would try harder to make it seem not like a show. Definitely they wouldn't say what road Truman is turning onto after that. Yet they did.
They should have had more discretion and been smarter about him finding out. But not that I really mind, but how would the movie have ended if he didn't find out then?
Well, it would have been more boring, I guess, but I can't help but feel the directors are being a bit too dumb here.
It took away the believability factor when they let things slip so dumbly. Like, hello, why are you announcing all these things when you know he can hear you? Or he might hear you, whatever.
Actually, I think Truman knew for years, ever since Sylvia was taken off stage. If you look over here, I think he was already making the hole.
So he was not gardening, he was digging a hole?
Seems like it, but anyways, apart from that, I have no negatives. Let's move on to positives. You can go first.
Oh. Okay, that's where it gets challenging. Where do you start? Obviously, Truman was brilliantly cast with Jim Carrey. He's just so much fun to watch.
Who was Truman then? If he was Jim Carrey, who was his actor?
Jim Carrey was brilliantly cast as Truman. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. All right, his face, the expressions that he makes, the way he speaks, it's just delightful. His wife did such a great job playing the fake, perfectly polished on the outside, and oh my gosh, totally despicable on the inside, just like his friend Marlon.
Originally, I heard Marlon actually was supposed to get a redemption thing, but then they cut it out, by the way.
You mean he would have a redeeming personality?
Well, in the deleted scene, apparently when they're searching for Truman, Marlon sees Truman but doesn't tell them, allowing him to escape.
Yeah, that would have been kind of nice that there would have been one good person in that whole messed up fake reality he created. There would be one good guy to show that he would have a conscience. What is wrong with these people? They're seriously all totally bad. They're all in it together.
I would never lie to you.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, this whole audience was made addicted to the show. The audience was supporting it by being so into it. So they were also complicit in a way. There should have been protests out there on the streets to let Truman go and give him his freedom in a good world. The show should have been banned, and the director should have been put in jail long, long ago for child abuse. And plus, he nearly killed him in the end.
Well, there actually were free Truman protests, as we heard that Sylvia was attending them. About the legality, though, he definitely needs to go to jail for trying to kill him, but apparently Truman was legally adopted by a corporation, so I don't know how far they're allowed to do things with him, but yeah.
Well, the whole thing was immoral, whether it was legal or not. Trying to kill someone you adopted is just as bad or worse than trying to kill someone you didn't adopt. Another positive is that it had so many funny laugh out loud moments. At the same time, it was very deep and philosophical and made me think a lot about life. It also just really made me laugh and like, oh my gosh, just it was so great. It feels so good to be able to laugh. That's all I can say.
Do you have any other positives, or should I move on to mine?
Sure, sure.
Well, okay, now I agree with those points, but I guess I'll have my additions now. First off, while the music wasn't stellar, it was still really good. Though they did borrow some of it from earlier films, who cares? Some of that music was pretty chilling. Anyways, I enjoyed all those scenes where they try stopping Truman from finding out his world is fake, but it just backfiring. Like when he tries to leave the island for good, but then they make a fake forest fire.
Yeah, the forest fire was very funny. The sign they put up there, how they get it up so fast? That's my question.
While there was lots of humor, I also enjoyed the more cinematic and dramatic scenes, such as the one where Sylvia tells Truman he's on.
Truman,
What do they want?
listen to me. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows everything you do. They're pretending, Truman. Do you understand? Everybody's pretending.
I don't know.
No. My name's not Lauren. It's Sylvia.
Then the one with Truman finding out Marlon also is in on it.
I don't know what to think, Marlon. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but...
And the last thing I'd ever do is lie to you.
And the last thing that I would ever do is lie to you.
Or, of course, the big one where he escapes the island and Kristoff tries making a huge storm to drown Truman. And, of course, the final scene where he tries talking Truman into staying, but Truman leaves and then everyone else moves on to other TV shows instead. You know, I feel bad for some employees who are going to lose a lot of money.
How did he find out about Marlon? Did he find out or did it dawn on him?
I think he found out when Marlon said he wouldn't ever lie to him. Something about that didn't feel genuine. By the way, Marlon definitely hesitated to say that. I wonder if Truman knew that. Anyways, that's all my positives. It is really, really good. Should we do the final score now?
Can I just say that whoever was a scriptwriter, kudos to them. Their creative genius. Every scene was just unpacking treasures.
That would be Andrew Niccol.
Was there anything he wrote as good as this? No, nothing made it as big as this script. What came closest?
We were really supposed to just focus on this film, but critically it seems that would be Gattaca. So in conclusion, this film is really important for people to watch. It has great lessons about life in the real world.
Anytime somebody scams you and makes you spend money you shouldn't have spent if you knew better, or gives you fake flattery, or ignores you and pretends you're not there, that kind of thing that messes with your reality, that's all an element of The Truman Show.
Yes, so with great humor, drama, and some other random stuff, The Truman Show will hereby be rated by me as 10 out of 10. And you?
100 out of 10. Or whatever, a bajillion.
We're only doing till 10.
I can watch it again right now. Turn it on.
You can still see it for free on Pluto TV, but out of 10, what are you going to give it?
Sadly, 10 is the highest.
Okay. Well, as we see, The Truman Show is something we both really recommend. While I really liked many other films, maybe some even more than this one, The Truman Show is probably the most important to watch.
For a social commentary on life, a lesson for life.
Exactly. Well, anyway, that's the review. Thank you, Miss Moose, for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one, which will be... How do you feel about seeing Arrival with me?
I feel, yeah. It's a go. Let's do it.